All right, guys, so I'm back. I haven't made a video in maybe like a week or so. So I'm back. I have a little bit of news. I don't want to say news, but I did switch cameras. I am giving the new GoPro Mission Pro 1 a shot. So far, I haven't made a video because I've been doing testing on the camera, to be honest. Just been doing drives and things like that. So I've got a little short 20-minute drive. Let's see if it doesn't overheat, because that's what the issue has been. Is it can do 8K 60 frames per second, but it usually does overheat. It can do 8K 30 frames per second, and it can go out for close to about an hour, which is really good because my other camera, the Insta360, could not do that. So we're gonna see if we can could I get into, oh, why am I going in reverse? There we go. All right, so I'm just gonna nudge it. We're gonna get a good start off, and these shadows have seemed to be somewhat of oh, so I actually can't, I'm gonna have to do this U-turn, because as we know, these cars cannot do U-turns, hardware 3 cars. So let's do this U-turn for the car, and then we will let it go on its merry way. So there we go. All right, so 18 minutes. And so let's see. I mean, you know what? I was supposed to clean off the steering wheel because my greasy fingers be leaving marks and residue. So we're gonna enjoy this little ride. We're in Queens as well, so we're gonna see. Of course, I drive every day with FSD and on the way here. I just didn't do no testing because I kind of, you know, like the way the camera looks when I do the videos, and then I look at the footage at home. So what I am testing now technically is just the EV exposure on the camera. So right now I have it set to 1, because I did notice that since this has a bigger lens, that definitely seems to be letting in a little bit more light on days like today. It's sunny, but it's like we got over clouds, or whatever you want to call it, where the sun is not directly, like if I look up, the sun is out there, but it's behind some clouds. So it's not super just straight sunlight, and we're also not in the direction of the sun either. But even with that being said, I just noticed that sometimes with that, some of the get thank you for slowing down. It would have been a little bit better if you'd slowed down a little sooner. But yeah, so some of the footage gets whitewashed. I might need an ND filter, not sure. Or maybe I can just, because like I did get the Insta360 kind of dialed in pretty well, where I could, you know, put it during the daytime and it's not getting whitewashed out by the sun or whatever. So I just want to get this one dialed in. But I definitely do like I definitely do like the 8K 60 frames per second. I just like the super crispness. I like being able to record in the highest resolution and it actually come out, because with the Insta360 and even the DJI Action 6, I felt like they can do 8K. They couldn't do 8K 60 frames. They could only do 8K 30, but it just seemed like it wasn't as sharp as I would expect it to be. So this 8K 60 and 8K 30 seem to be pretty sharp. Just has seems like it's letting in too much light, so I'm just trying to figure that out. As in the car in FSD, still on the same software for both the, you know, the 12.6.4 and then the 20.26.20, the car software. So still on the same on that. I mean, I've not really had too much issues with FSD lately, just the same things. What I've learned is shadows sometimes has it going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, where it's kind of like wanting to slow down. It's somewhat, I would say, a mild stabbing. It's not like just bang, 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 bang. It's more pause, but it's more like it'll be slowing down, and then it'll go, and it'll like, wait a second, should I be going, and kind of like slow down again. So it's not like the abrupt stabbing on the brakes, which, and like I said, that's sometimes because like we're driving through shadows right now from the trees and no issues. One of the things that just continues to plague Hardware 3 is pedestrians. I don't get it with this car is how. So I'm looking at the footage on the phone, and it looks pretty good. We'll see when we get home. But pedestrians, and here's the thing, I get it, but in the same sense, I get why the car freaks out sometimes, because I get mad at what pedestrians do, right? Because I hate when customers, I hate when people are walking and they're walking towards the car out in the street. I just don't like it, regardless of it's FSD or not. It just annoys me, because there's times that, oh, must be a cop on the highway. There's times that I'm driving and people are walking out, and then I have to stop, and then people are like brushing onto my car or walking into the car, and it's like, if you would have just waited, right, that whole situation wouldn't have happened, right? So I just hate when people walk out into the street. It just annoys me. But with FSD, it freaks it out because it does not know what these people are doing. It just truly does not know what these people are doing, and it makes the car uneasy, and it does not know what to do in certain cases, whether it should proceed or it should just stop. In most cases, it's going to just come to almost a stop, because if somebody is like, because I've seen pedestrians walk out, like they have the intent of crossing, but then they see the car and then they stop. But for the car, they do not know that their intent. They just see them walking out so far into the street, so it's going to slow down or it's going to stop. So I even have footage the other day on my just regular dash cam with the car, where this guy ran out in the street while I was driving and had FSD on, and FSD saw him. He looked like a deer in headlights, and FSD slowed down for him. He ended up continuously scurrying across the street, and the car went about his day, you know. But like I said, that is one of the things, and it's just sometimes inconsistent. Sometimes it's, I don't get it, but sometimes I do get it, because once again, it's not telling, it can't always tell people's intent of what they're necessarily doing. Let me try to mute that. It can't tell what people are necessarily doing all the time, so I get it. Let me text this customer real quick. I forgot to do so. Is that him right now? Oh, no, something else.
Speed camera ahead. You are exceeding the speed.
Got it. So this radar detector, I love it, but I hate it at times, especially when I'm recording. It seems to want to be the loudest. But yeah, it just doesn't know people's intent, and I get it. It gets annoying because I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in, you know, Manhattan. Like I was in Manhattan the other day. I was in Bronx yesterday. Those places, people do that stuff all the time. So yes, it's somewhat annoying to me, but like I said, I understand, because I know why the car is doing that. You know, I just wish sometimes it would be a little bit more consistent, because there's times that people walk out and it pays them no mind, right? It understands that they're stopped and they're not moving anymore, or it understands that they're at the end of the crosswalk, and it'll just be fine. Today, this person was on a skateboard, or is it even a skateboard or a scooter, and I was driving down a street. The person that was on the skateboard was on the opposite side of the street, going the same way as me. the cars was actually coming towards me, and they were on the other side of the cars. And because that person came from behind me and was skating or riding on that side, the car was hesitant because it saw it behind it. And once again,
red light camera
is that
ahead.
person truly a threat to no, they were too far away. So stuff like that, yeah, it shouldn't even be reacting. Whereas there's people that's literally on the right hand side of me,
You are exceeding the speed.
oh my god, it doesn't even react to them. It just keeps its course. So what I've always said with everything with hardware 3 is more so consistency. But I get why sometimes it freaks out, because pedestrians, it doesn't know what they're doing. So we're already almost here. We're only 6 minutes away. So far so good. Camera hasn't overheated. If I can get, you know, these types of drives out of the camera at 8K 60 frames per second will be great, because I tried, I do have longer videos. Some of them are pieced together, like the hardware 3 versus hardware 4 video. I did basically around a 30-minute drive in each car. So it came out to a little bit over an hour. So that's a little bit different. But even if I could go to 8K, you put your blink on a little late, my friend. But if I could even do 8K 30 frames per second and get videos in, that's great. It's more so about the lighting, which from the preview in my phone looks pretty solid, you know. So I also tweaked a couple of other settings to give it a cinematic look. I raised the bit rate to try to get as much detail in these videos as possible, because I don't know about you guys, I am a HD, my brothers call me a HD snob. I love clarity. I don't know what it is. I love sharpness. I just love when something looks good. I don't know, it just bothers me when it's grainy or it's not crisp. Maybe I'm nuts, you know, but it is what it is. I just love HD and clarity. So if I could get some 8K 60 frames per second videos and confidently do it, that'd be great. I'm gonna look into see if maybe I could create something to kind of like cool these cameras down. I was thinking about getting like a fan with a suction cup, but then the fan would then add so much direct wind noise. Maybe I could do that and then just wear the external mic, because if the fan is pretty quiet, and then even if it is a little loud, the external mic that's attached to me, which I do have them, would probably eliminate that noise, but it'll also help that fan cool down the camera, because once you put this bad boy in 8K, it's like, geez, it's just killing that processor in there. Those batteries come out like freaking hot lava. So that'll be great. So far so good. Haven't had to intervene at all, but this is the most cases I do not have to intervene with my car. If anything, I just help it, you know. Like today on the way here, it was trying to get off at exit 23, and there was a lot of traffic, and sometimes you have some people that they like drive the same speed and don't want to technically let you in, but I saw that there was a little bit of a gap in front of the car that wouldn't kind of like let me in, so I just hit the gas a little bit, let it accelerate in front of him, and the car got over. So in most of my driving, that is what I do. I just, you know, I'll hit the gas to help it out and things like that, or sometimes I'll just use my blinkers like to move over, like right now, because I feel like it would be better to be in this lane. And that's the most that I do. I mean, people say I'm crazy, but yesterday I was napping like a mofo up in here. Sometimes I nap. I trust it, you know. Only thing that sucks is I don't feel that the car would get me into an accident. I do feel that it would take me the wrong way, because sometimes the navigation it's wonky, where there's times that, like the other day I was driving and it will get confused because some of these intersections are confusing. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Even today on my way here on getting off of the highway, there's like 3 different exits that are like basically the same direction, and the way they are labeled on the signs are just so piss poor that it's very hard to understand. And then the way the GPS is stating it, it makes it hard to truly understand. I just let the car do what it had to do, and the car actually took me the right way, where I know I've actually failed going the right way in the past at that intersection or intersections like that, because sometimes intersections are not the same as they're stated in the GPS, right? So I've had some times where I've gone the wrong way and I'm like, God dang it, you know, so the car took me the right way. But there's times it goes the wrong way, because sometimes it gets confused too. So that's the only real worry. That, and of course, the potholes that I have for when I do sometimes take my naps. You can judge me all you want. Listen, I like being able to relax. The car is going to do 99.9% of the work. I'll add certain things, or it gets into certain situations where it can't do. Like if it does make a wrong turn down the wrong street, that's a dead end. And if I'm asleep, I'm kind of screwed. Hopefully I'll wake up, because the car can't go in reverse. It will be stuck sitting there. So that's one of the things. But to be honest, I don't sleep. I take light naps, you know, so sometimes I need to get a little bit of a break. I take me a little light nap. I mean, Elon did say eventually, he said he's gonna release soon so that we can sleep in the cars. Listen, I'm all for it. The amount of people, there's so many people that's against. So the camera did overheat. There's 1 minute left, so I'm gonna make it snappy. But a lot of people you know, talk about FSD and people sleeping and stuff like that. I mean, I've said this before in my other videos. The amount of stuff that people do while they're driving and they're in 100% control of the car is by far worse than a person using FSD and sleeping. It is by far worse than a person using FSD and texting. It is by far worse than someone that's actually intoxicated and using FSD, because the car is I would say 95%, in most cases 99% controlled by the car. You have people that are 100% in control of the car that are sleeping, falling asleep, that are actually texting and driving. I've seen people watching videos. You know, there's people that drink and drive every day. You know, so FSD is by far more safer than most people on the road. But we are pulling up. We have just one more turn, so I'm probably just gonna have to put these videos together. And look at this lady about to run the stop sign. But yeah, so this video I'm gonna pull over right here, because it's not gonna pull into that customer's. So it just cut off again, so it definitely needs to cool down. But I'll concede that video. Like and subscribe if you guys like more videos, and tell me if you would like certain locations. I'll try my best to get those certain locations in, even though I just drive for work and go to where my customers are at. Thanks guys, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.